Look guys, I made a couple jokes a few vlogs back from the comfort of my bedroom and came up with the term Fanny Pack Bros. That the Fanny Pack Bros, no soul or sense of humor, blood-sucking zombies, strictly to take you for every penny that you have. Calculations in their mechanical brains. Look how entitled the Fanny Pack Bros are. So apparently, I had a couple jokes to get off my chest that vlog. Well, unexpectedly, the joke caught a little steam. And now, ever since that vlog, I've been running across Fanny Pack Bros all over Houston. Now, most people, they think it's hilarious, but others are not so amused. We'll get into that interaction later on in the video. But before that, we have a lot to do in this vlog. Because in this vlog, I'm going to 3 poker houses in one night. So get your popcorn ready as I go all over Houston searching for guppies all night. We have 16 hands from this night to get into, and the action gets insane toward the end of the video. So let's head straight to the first poker club and let's get straight into the action.
These chips right here, these is my chips. He ain't got no clue what he's doing. He got damn near 3K, and it's all coming my way. Stay tuned.
Okay guys, for the first spot of the night, I'm back at Doghouse in Cypress, Texas. Because every time I think they might have forgot, you guys should already know. I gotta go back to remind the amazing people at Doghouse that I'm the big dog at Doghouse. And now that you guys have seen my very first hand, which was a reverse button Omaha hand that I eventually threw into the muck, let's get straight into my very first hold'em hand of the night when I peel pocket aces right away in the small blind. The button raises to $15. I 3-bet to $35. The big blind cold calls and the button calls as well. 3 ways to a 4-3-5 board with 2 hearts. Now I'm out of position and I'm first to act. So on this draw heavy board, I decided to check as I would with most of my overcards that missed this flop. And even though this isn't the best board for my actual hand, I'm still gonna have the best hand here more times than not. So my plan in this spot was to re-raise if one of my opponents bet the flop. There's a splashy drunk guy to my left, and the button is a tight, solid player, but he might bet any of his overpairs like 7s through jacks. So if either player bets, they're getting raised. The big blind decides that this is his pot, and he bets $40 when I check it over to him. The button quickly calls in less than 3 seconds. And now the action is on me. The big blind could be betting out with any draws that he may have, like flush draws or any hands that he may have containing a 6 or a deuce. And when the button snap calls the $40, again, I'm putting him on overpairs like 7s through jacks. Maybe even queens, because he's on the passive side, so there's a possibility that he just calls my 3-bet preflop with queens. But anyway, the action is back on me, and I'm sticking to the plan. 165?
Raise. I'm on it. Re-raise.
So I raise it up to $165. The big blind immediately goes all in for his last $330. The button then tanks for 50 seconds and then eventually folds. And I call off the remaining $205. Now let's see a run out.
One more action.
Can I take a hot tea?
Shut up.
No.
Jack high flush.
That is good. Look, you can double check the cards all you want. They're not changing. You still lost. You're still stuck over $400 in the very first hold'em hand of the night. And yes, he still got there. Get to the next hand. Well, damn, guys. I think he's still a little upset about that hand. Let's just get to the next one like he said.
Poker room has like.
So I add on for $300 more. And 6 minutes later, I look down at ace king off in the low jack and raise it up to $15. The hijack to my left is, yep, still drunk and still riding high from taking over $400 from me on that last hand. So he 3-bets to $50. The action folds to me, and I decide to just call here with ace king off. Off to a king ace 9 board, and I check my top 2 pair over to my opponent. He c-bets for $40. I make the call, and the turn brings the 5 of spades. Now I'm first to act, and here on the turn, and now with another spade being on the board, I decided to bet $140 on his turn card to deny equity from any of his combinations of hands that contain a spade. Now he folds pretty quickly and then shows king jack of hearts. Now I took this small one down, but I wasn't satisfied with how I played it after he showed his cards. But maybe that's just me speaking in hindsight, and that's only because he showed his cards. What do you guys think? Ace king ... Your comment. Now let's get to the next hand. But wait guys, I'm receiving a phone call. Who is it and what could they want? Shoot, I'm in Cyprus right now filming. What's going on? Everything good? Oh man, so guys, I just got a phone call from one of the managers at the hangar, and he was just calling to tell me that there's some big fish at the hangar tonight. The typical guppies are there too, but now they're accompanied by some big whales. I told him, dang, I wish I could make it, but I'm filming at Doghouse tonight. And I still haven't reminded them why I'm the big dog at Doghouse. So I told him that I'd try to swing by later, but let me finish up here at Doghouse first. Yeah, dang, yeah, I'm filming at Doghouse tonight. I'm here now.
But BA? Everywhere from Amazon to Home Depot.
So I'm still grinding at Doghouse, and the hijack raises to $15. I call in the cutoff with Jack 9 suited along with 2 other players, and we head 4 ways to a 9-6-8 rainbow flop. The action checks to the preflop aggressor, and he c-bets for $20. I decided to raise to $45 in position with my top pair and all of my backdoor draws. Now the goal of this raise was to fold out the 2 players in early position and go heads up with the preflop aggressor, because surely they're not going to cold call my re-raise out of position. Oh wait, he did call? Oh, okay. Okay, so the plan didn't work. Middle position cold called the $45, and then the preflop aggressor called as well in a little over 30 seconds. Now the player to my right is the same player from the last 2 hands that was previously to my left. But now I've changed seats to give you guys a better view, but also having position on the player that has all of my money doesn't hurt either. So we go 3 ways to the king of clubs on the turn, and when middle position checks to the preflop aggressor,
I'm all in.
All in.
he bets 3 times the pot and ships his whole stack in the middle for $581. Now I have nothing but a 9, so obviously I have to fold. But this is exactly why that it's good that I now have position on the Bud Light Bandit who took all of my chips earlier by shoving his entire stack with a jack high flush draw. Because next time he rips his whole entire stack into me, pause, I'm gonna have something like pocket nines in that spot, and I'm snapping the Bud Light Bandit off. I keep saying Bud Light Bandit, but I don't know what he was drinking. Hell, it could have been tequila, I don't know. He was a cool guy though. He was very nice to me. But obviously we lost his hand. Let's get to the next one.
Fold. Thank you.
If you're like me and you absolutely hate to work out, the best way to procrastinate while at the gym is playing Poker Bros while you're at the gym. If you want to play in the clubs that I play in daily, then use the link in my description. That link will automatically place you in both of the clubs that I play in daily. Lucky Stars Entertainment and CMO. See, playing Poker Bros is much more fun than actually working out. Who wants to actually work out? This sucks. But if you have any questions about how to get set up or how to get your chips loaded up, then make sure you join my Discord, which is also linked in my description. The managers in my Discord will help you with any questions that you may have. And if you already have the Poker Bros app downloaded, then make sure you hit the magnifying glass that's on the home screen and use the club IDs and referral IDs that are currently on the screen. Let's get back to the video.
Keep track of how much I'm in for. Yeah, I get it. Live stream, I got it right.
Straight into the very next hand, and I look down at 9-8 of spades in the hijack, and there's an early position raise to $15. I make the call, and we go 4 ways to a 4-8 queen flop with 2 clubs. The preflop aggressor then c-bets for $40. I'm in position, and I don't want to fold my middle pair right away, so I make the call, hoping to see something like a 9 on the turn. Now it is the 9 of clubs, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? So when the preflop aggressor same bets the turn for $40, I'm positive that he isn't that strong. And here on the turn with 3 clubs already being on the board, I can't let him see a cheap river if he has a club in his hand. So I pounced on his weakness and raised to $140.
Raise 140. Call.
Now he calls the $140 very quickly, and I don't love that. And when the river brings the deuce of spades, he bets what?
Bet. 31's the bet.
So my opponent bet $31 on this river card, thinking that was all of his chips.
How much do you have on him?
Oh, that's funny.
I
forgot I had
You was trying to shove that? You was trying to shove that. I'm scared now.
I forgot I had chips.
What is it, 32?
31.
I would have put them all in. I got a flush.
take care of it.
And when I realized that he was trying to go all in, I decided to just call the $31, and then my opponent flipped over the queen high flush. Now him not knowing that he had more chips behind might have just saved me an extra $100, because if he bets his remaining $130 on the river, I think I have to just sigh and pay him off for that price. But I just lost $226 in this hand, and I'm currently stuck over $500. I only have 2 hands left before we head to the second spot. Let's see if we can turn things around before we leave. Are we going to turn things around in this reverse button Omaha hand when I look down at ace, king, 10, 5 double suited and I raise it up to $15 in the low jack? 6 players make the call, of course, so it's the Texas heads up. And the flop comes.
Check.
Jack.
Check. 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 50? 50.
The fact that everyone folded is so unfair, bro. Like, damn, why does everybody have to fold when I flop the nuts? I had a gutter to the straight flush, top pair. I mean, I flopped the world, but I couldn't get any more value on that hand. I mean, it is Omaha, so I felt like I had to bet the flop. It's Omaha. Maybe somebody had 2 pair. I don't know. But you mean to tell me I get nothing? That's not right, man. They know I'm stuck over $600, bro. And you mean to tell me I get nothing? Nothing?
We got you in there.
You got me in there?
Yeah. How's it going?
You better wipe those tears fast, Valdez, because you have pocket aces under the gun with the $10 straddle on the button. And this just so happens to be the last interesting hand of the night here at Doghouse before I left. So it's either I get unstuck this hand or I'm forced to cash out and leave Doghouse stuck. So the $10 button straddle gets to me and I raise my pocket aces up to $35 and everyone folds except for the button and the small blind who were already $10 invested. The small blind checks dark and we go 3 ways to a 5 ace 9 rainbow board. So the action is on me and I have the absolute nuts with top set here on this dry board. There aren't any flush draws available to my opponents or even any straight draws outside of a couple gut shots. So I decided to go ahead and check my top set on this board to try and help my opponents catch up a little. So I check, the button checks, and the king of hearts comes on the turn. The small blind then checks and then I decide to bet out for $25. Both players make the call and the jack of clubs comes on the river. The action checks to me for the 3rd street in a row in this hand and I land on a sizing of $200.
200.
Now this is a slight overbet of the pot, and I'm obviously telling the story that I have a very good hand or nothing, which obviously I have a very good hand here with the second nuts.
That's okay. We all have those.
So my opponent just called out my hand, but he's still in the tank. Will he pay it off or make the fold?
They kicked me out once.
Did that? Yeah.
Fold.
But I'm a happy drunk.
Are you happy, drunk?
Weren't you happy? I don't normally happy.
So my opponent called out my exact hand and then made the disciplined fold. And that annoyed the hell out of me. Did you guys see me roll my eyes when he called out aces? I was so annoyed, and I know he backdoored into some kind of weird two pair, and he still made the fold. That's it. It's time to go. I mean, I can't focus. The longer I play here, the longer I keep thinking of the list of whales that are playing at the hangar tonight. And I can no longer resist and fight the urge to leave. As always, I'll be back to Doghouse very soon. But I think it's time to cash out, assess the damages, and head to the next spot. Alright, bro. And just like that, we're out. We were in for $1,300. We were out for, I think she said $849. We only played for an hour. I know you guys are like, Valdez, why you only play for an hour? It's because I got a phone call. Well, it turns out the way I put this video together, you guys already know all about the phone call. So let's skip all of this jibber jabber and drive 40 minutes straight to the aquarium. He called my phone. He said, Valdez, the lineup is crazy. Get here now. Wait, hold on guys. Before we walk in, let me remind you guys that this is the very location of my very first in-person meetup game, February 22nd. I look forward to seeing all of you guys. The doors open at noon. We will be going from noon all night. I have some crazy promotions running and this game will be absolutely nuts. Here's a sneak peek into one of the promotions. Imagine that this is not a quarter. Imagine that this is a Valdez chip. It looks something more like this. This is a rough draft of what it looks like. So guys, I'll be switching tables all night. So every time you beat me in a hand, you get a Valdez chip. As long as I see a flop, a Valdez chip is going in the pot. Now these chips will be counted up toward the end of the night. And the top 10 players with the most Valdez chips gets to choose from 10 prizes. And guys, it's me, so you know I didn't half-ass the prizes. Here's a sneak peek into one out of the 10 prizes. One of the 10 prizes is a $1,000 free roll Omaha sweat versus me. So I put up $1,000, you put up $0, and we Omaha sweat to see who wins. That is a value of $500, and that is not even a top 3 prize. Guys, I really appreciate all of you guys that are flying out, showing up, and this is basically a thank you to you guys. So I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to make sure that this is one of the craziest meetup games of all time. So I'll see you guys soon. February 22nd. Now let's walk into the hangar. Back to the video. All right, so that was about 40 minutes, no traffic. All of my Houstonians know that from Cypress to Humble, do the math. But we here now. I may or may have not been speeding. I don't know. Them names I heard on the phone had my foot a little heavy. My prediction is ain't no in between. I'm either winning 1,500 plus or losing 1,500 plus. No in between. Man, guys, I hate to be anticlimactic, but I walk into my ATM machine like I normally do, ready to make my weekly withdrawal, but the tournament hadn't finished yet. So there was only one table of cash and no seats open at the moment. But I still bought in and I had my chips all set up nice and pretty. But after about 10 or 15 minutes, I just couldn't no longer wait for the tournament to bust. And I have a schedule to keep, so it's time for a change of plans. Well, that didn't go as planned. So instead of waiting there, it was probably still going to be a good game, but I can't wait. I have things to do. So we're going to stay tuned on where we're going, but it's not too far. So, and I know they'll have a table going. So to the third poker house we go. I'll see you guys when we get there. It's time to take a detour and venture off further north to a poker house that I haven't been to in years, since way before I started vlogging. Yup, let's see how I hold up here at Texas Card House, Spring location. So I bought in for $800. And 10 minutes into the session, I look down at 5-6 of spades in middle position, looking to immediately quadruple up and show the whole table who's daddy when I raise it up to $20 and 2 players make the call. A 9-5 deuce rainbow board is not necessarily what we wanted, but it's what we get. And when first to act checks it over to me, I figure here with second pair and backdoor straight and flush possibilities, my hand is decent enough to c-bet, so I bet out for $35. Now late position makes the fold, but first to act, he doesn't call, he doesn't fold, he does what?
For the rest?
So my opponent jammed all in for over twice the size of the pot for $227. And I had no choice but to fold. But before I made the obvious fold, you know I had to posture and waste everyone's time like I had a real decision to make, right? So that was about 40 seconds of their life that table will never get back. If you're watching this and you're from that table, my bad, guys. But for those of you that are watching, oh, come on, guys. Don't act like you've never done that. Don't act like you guys have never wasted time on an obvious fold just to save face. I know you guys do that too. Now let's get to the next hand. Now this hand is a what would you do in this spot type of situation. I look down at 5-4 off in the big blind and the action folds to the cutoff and he raises to $100. Now as he's placing his $100 bet, multiple players are already folding. But wait, was he even trying to raise?
Bro, I thought you were raising. Oh, are you?
Yeah. I gotta leave that as action, bro. Oh, well, yeah, leave that alone. It was across the line and all that. I gotta leave that as action.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
my bad. I'm fucking cleaning my shit.
I understand. You got a little bit of room behind the line.
So the dealer said that he had to leave that as an action because his chips had already passed the line and his action made other players fold already. And now the action is on me. Now should I fold my 5-4 offsuit or should I rip it in his face all in and try to steal his $100?
Well, we're obviously gonna fold because we're good people and we know he did that on accident. We would never want to take advantage of him. It's an obvious fold.
Man, hell no, they can kiss our ass. That was his mistake. We want all the money, Valdez. Shove it in his face right now and take his $100, man. Fuck him, fuck him.
Tell your followers I'll take my bet.
I had to call, right?
Man, he just take my $3 like that?
Everybody folded?
I ain't gonna do him like that. So I fold, but in full transparency, if I had a king in my hand, an ace in my hand, or any pocket pair, I'm going all in and I'm trying to steal that $100. Now I know some of you guys are like, Valdez, why would you do that when you know he didn't mean to bet the $100? And my answer to you guys would be, I'd do it for the same reason he didn't give me my $3 big blind back when I folded. Once the chips go past that line, it's fair game, period. But what would you guys do in a situation like that? Are you trying to steal the $100? Or are you just folding your hand knowing that it was an accident? Put your thoughts down in the comment section down below.
Yeah, that's greedy. He didn't even try for 5. He tried to even.
So 4 minutes after my $3 was stolen from me, I look down at King 9 of diamonds on the button and the player that accidentally raised last hand has now purposely raised to $15. 2 players make the call and now the action is on me on the button and I decide to raise my suited king here on the button to $80. The initial raiser takes about 40 seconds and then reluctantly makes the fold. And now the action is on the hijack and he has a question for me.
You streaming? You streaming?
Oh no, it's not live. It's going. I put it on there later.
Just make sure you get this here.
Oh man, here we go. Oh man, here we go. You just gotta love it when the recreational players try to put on a show for the cameras. So I'm on the button with 2 recreational players in a bloated pot with a suited king. That's a pretty good spot to be in if you ask me. But when the flop brings Jack 6 Jack and the cutoff leads into me for $100, what an awkward spot to be in. But I guess I just have to make the fold. Let's see what happens for the rest of the hand. The hijack raises the cutoff's $100 bet to $200 and the cutoff immediately makes the call. The turn brings the 5 of clubs and the hijack goes all in for $176 effective. The cutoff then puts his last $176 in the middle right away, and the river brings the 10 of diamonds. So when it was time to show down, the hijack didn't really want to show his cards, indicating that he was bluffing. The cutoff then proudly flips over pocket sevens and takes down this pot that's over $1,000. You guys will learn more about the cutoff later on in the video, but I'll just let you guys know ahead of time that we definitely don't mind the cutoff having a lot of chips. Let's get to the next hand.
Good bet.
Damn. Damn is correct. And after seeing how that last hand played out, I immediately call over the floor and add on for another $500 because I need just as many chips as my new friend to my right. 10 minutes later, and I look down at ace queen of diamonds in the hijack, and under the gun +1 has raised to $10. Now this is the same guy that told me in the last hand to make sure that I got his loss on camera. But anyway, the action folds to me and I raise it up to $50. Only the initial raiser makes the call, and the flop brings 8-5 king with 2 clubs. Mr. Make sure I get this on camera checks it over to me, and I see bet for $40. He folds and I take down this small pot. In the next hand, I look down at 7-3 of clubs. Oh, it's Omaha. More cards coming, my bad. I look down at ace king 7-3 with ace high clubs and the reverse button Omaha hand, and there's a $6 straddle under the gun. The whole entire table makes the call for $6, and the straddler is still Mr. Get This on Camera, by the way, raises his option to $50. So the whole entire table except for one player made the call. So pre-flop, this pot is already pretty massive, being over $400. Please, poker gods, flop me something good. Please let me sniff this flop. Of course not. The flop comes a miserable 8-6-6 with 2 hearts and 1 club, and the action checks to the player to my left, and he goes all in for his remaining $108. Now 4 players make the call, and although I make the fold, let's stay with this hand and figure out what happens, because this hand was nuts. So there are 5 ways to the 8 of clubs on the turn, and when the action checks to the player to my right, he goes all in for his last $1,075. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I told him good luck all in because I wanted him to keep all of the chips, if you know what I mean. Let's continue on with the hand. He goes all in, and a player in late position shoves his remaining $442 in the middle. The original straddler, Mr. Get This on Camera, then puts his last $50 in the middle. So we have a pretty massive pot with 4 players left in the hand and only 1 card to come. The dealer gets the 3 separate pots together, and the river brings the 9 of spades. It's showdown time. Now let's see who has what. So the player to my right was first to show and proudly flips over 10-8-5-4 and scoops the entire pot with 10-8 off. And you guys can tell by the look on my face that I am in utter disbelief of the heater that this guy is on. I mean, he has no clue what he's doing. Now, I recognized that about 30 minutes ago after seeing him play like 2 hands. But if you guys still don't believe me that he has no clue what he's doing, then great, because it gets even crazier than this. Listen to what he said after the hand if you don't want to take my word for it.
I don't even know the rules of PLO. I usually try to avoid those.
What? He doesn't even know the rules of PLO and he just scooped a pot for over $2,500? Nope. Someone called the floor. I need a count of this guy's chips ASAP, and I need to add on for at least $1,000. Oh, and guys, the player to my left is pissed because he shoved his last $108 on the flop with a 6. And the player to my right, who doesn't even know the rules, got there on the turn. This is Texas poker for you.
These chips right here, these is my chips. He ain't got no clue what he's doing. He got damn near 3K, and it's all coming my way. Stay tuned.
So I add on for 2 beautiful $500 pink chips, and 4G stands by them for good luck. I then peel queen 10 off on the button and raise it up to $15. Just trying to build a decent pot in position and get the player to my right who just scooped that massive Omaha pot involved in the hand. Now to my dismay, he just folded a hand for one of the first times all night. So I'm forced to see this flop without him. Are his chips on lockdown? So we go 4 ways to a pretty decent flop for my hand. Jack 6 Queen Rainbow is the flop, and when the action checks to me, I see bet $40 on this flop with top pair. The big blind is the only caller, and we go heads up to the king of spades on the turn. Now my opponent checks it over to me again, and although this card doesn't improve my actual hand, it is a card that's going to be better for my range than my opponent's range, with me being the pre-flop aggressor. So instead of pot controlling the turn, I decided to continue betting, repping all of the combinations of 2 pair that I could have. I was also pretty happy that I had a 10 in my hand as well, blocking the nut straight as well as giving me an open ender if I needed it on the river. So my opponent calls the $105 and the river brings the 3 of hearts. And he checks it over to me yet again, and I consider betting the river, but can I really get another street of value from a worse hand?
Check.
I decided probably not, and my hand was too strong to turn into a bluff, so I just checked it back, and my opponent quickly flipped over a Jack 8 offsuit as if he had the winner. I actually can beat that hand, so I then flipped over my Queen 10 offsuit, and I took this pot down. I'm pretty happy with that extra $105 that I bet on the turn, and I'm also happy that I play poker in Texas, where they call pre-flop raises in early position with Jack 8 offsuit. Let's get to the next hand. Now, in between hands, I'm always watching my surroundings. That's just a habit of mine, being from the hood. And now, I'm even more so on alert because I see 2 fanny pack bros walking up on me, and now they're slowing down the closer they get to me. Have they heard that I've been talking shit?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
I watch your so many videos on YouTube.
Oh, appreciate it, bro.
I know you're doing it right now.
Huh?
I don't-
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know
Nah,
how
you
to
good.
do
You
it,
good.
man.
What's your name?
Ethan.
Ethan Valdez. Nice to meet you.
David.
Valdez. Nice to meet you, David.
Ah, thank God. Not only were they friendly and supporters of the channel, but they in fact hadn't seen me talking shit about the fanny pack bros. Oh wait, I might have spoken too soon, guys. Hold on, they're coming back.
Am I a fanny pack?
Ah, damn. Y'all caught me. I didn't think y'all saw that video yet.
I told you I watched those. It pops up in my feed.
So you watched it. So you watched that video.
I was like, man, he's ripping on me, bro.
Nah, man. You know, some fanny pack bros have personality, bro. I could tell you got the shoes. You're not a fanny pack bro. You got the personality.
I don't even keep chips in here. I just I still have the cash. So if I lose, if I need to rebrush, I just flip the cash. I never I know what you're talking about. They'll keep the chips in.
Yeah. You're not a bot.
They in fact were not robotic fanny pack bros. But seriously, guys, it's always so cool to meet you guys in person, which is why I'm glad that most of you guys that are currently watching me right now will for sure be at my very first in-person meetup game on February 22nd at the Hangar Poker House, right? Right?
Man, you good, bro. Thank you.
Next interesting hand, and we have another reverse button Omaha hand, and I look down at pocket aces with ace high diamonds on the button. There's a $6 straddle under the gun, and I raise it up to $30 when the straddle is limped to me. 5 players make the call, and 4, 10, 6 with 2 diamonds comes on the flop. The action checks to me, and I decide to bet pot for $180. One player then shoves the rest of his chips in the middle for $155, and everyone else folds. So let's see the run out, heads up. Geez, so my opponent flopped top 2 pair along with a flush draw, but the turn gave us the nut flush. Now that was a lesson on how to get it in bad and still get there. But guys, in your opinion, how bad was my bet on the flop? I didn't think it was a bad bet. Comment down below. Fast forwarding to the very next hand, and I look down at ace king off in the cutoff, and I raise it up to $35. One player makes the call, the flop brings queen queen 3. I see bet for $40 and he folds. Aw shit. Am I on the heater that I finally been waiting for? Let's head to the very next shuffle when I peel pocket tens in the hijack and the player to my right, who doesn't even know the rules, is finally ready to play a hand again and he raises up to $25. I immediately raise to $60 while imagining his whole entire stack being slid straight to his left, which is me. But anyway, he's the only caller and we're heads up to a king 6 flop with 2 spades. He leads out for $75 and I snap him off because, well, I have to. The turn brings the ace of hearts, another bad card for my hand, but he slows down and checks. Well, I'm scared, so I decide to pot control the turn and check back. The river brings a 7 of diamonds and he checks it over to me yet again, and I just decide to just check it back.
You wanna? Fives and tens.
Now in the future, could I find some thin value bets on the river after my opponent checks the turn and the river? I mean, yeah, I could, but then again, probably not. I mean, what would I be targeting? Pocket 8s, pocket 9s? I'm fine with no bet on the river. But man, I'm still after those chips. I mean, damn. Look at those $500 pink chips.
Give it to me. 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 Give it to me.
This man is absolutely clueless and he still has over $3,000 in front of him. Damn. Well, unfortunately for you, Valdez, this is your last chance to get those chips because this is the last interesting hand of the night. We have yet another reverse button Omaha hand, and I'm looking down at ace queen 10-5 with ace high diamonds, and a player in middle position raises to $15. 6 players make the call, including the player to our right, so you know I'm in there, and we head 7 ways to a jack 4-9 board with 2 hearts. I'm first to act, so I check, and the big blind leads for $40. A player in middle position made the call, and even though the player to our right made the fold, so that means we're never getting those chips. I still made the call for $40 with my open-ended straight draw and my backdoor nut flush draw. We actually get the nut straight on the turn with the 8 of hearts, but unfortunately, it brings in the front door flush as well. I check it over to the big blind and then she goes all in for her last $145. We both fold, so she takes this one down, and just a few hands later, the player to our right doubles someone up when he got scooped in a $1,500 double board bomb pot when he called a player's all in with only queen deuce for 2 pair on the bottom board and only a pair of jacks on the top. Man, those were supposed to be our chips, and now he's giving them away to someone else? Man, I'm leaving. It's now past midnight and I'm tired, so let's head to the cage, cash out, and see if we got any of the money back that we lost when we went to Doghouse earlier.
Sometimes he hides his face with a smile to mask the ace in his hand. Oh yeah, he's got a plan. Ooh. I might have seen his eyes that never show you know he's clever.
That's squirrel.
Five, 10, 15, 20, 21, 27, 19.
27-19.
27-19.
Thank you. Two.
Thank you.
And just like that, we're out. What a day. We've been all over the city. We got confronted by the Fanny Pack bros. Nah, they were cool. They were cool. They were cool. It's always cool to meet you guys in person. I can't believe y'all watched this silly vlog. I'm forever grateful. I'm so serious. But, so TCH, we were in for $2,300. I know we got kind of deep. We was trying to stack the clueless guy to our right. We wasn't able to do it. But we were in for $2,300. We were out for $27.19. So that is a little profit of $419. But we have to subtract Doghouse because we were in for $1,100 and we were out for, I think, $849. So if you subtract what we lost at Doghouse, we probably won a little over $100. So I consider that breaking even. Hey, it's better than a loss.
Hey guys, non-tired Valdez here. My apologies, it was past midnight, so I have a correction. At Doghouse, we was actually in for $1,300, so in Doghouse, we lost $451. If you subtract that from the $419 profit we had at TCH, the total profit from this vlog was negative $32, so we lost $32. Correction.
I don't think I have any crazy spots I want to talk about tonight. Tonight was already wild enough driving all over the city. Oh, and another thing. I didn't know that TCA Spring had action like this. I mean, we won like we won over $400 in only a couple hours, but we could have won a lot more. TCA Spring, I didn't know it was like, and they were deep too. I'm like, it's my first time here in a long time, like way before the vlog. But TCA Spring has some crazy action, so I might be grinding up here a little bit. Y'all stay tuned. Make sure you guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
These chips right here, these is my chips. He ain't got no clue what he's doing. He got damn near 3K, and it's all coming my way. Stay tuned.
Yo, so this is the first time that I know for a fact that this clip will be at the end of a video. Normally it happens randomly, but this is the first time that I know for sure that this clip will be at the end of the video. So if you're watching this, your family, you watched this whole vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching the end of the video. But we have a problem. Those of you guys that know me, you guys know that what makes this fun for me is that, like, I just create the content that I would want to watch. So anytime I think of a new idea, no matter how crazy it is, I got to figure out how I can do it. So for this scene, I want to cry, but I can't make myself cry. And guys, I've been trying to cry for the last 2 days. I've been doing some devious things to try to cry. I've been thinking about, like, a couple of people that I love dying. I had to stop mid doing it because it just was like, I just can't do it. So anyway, you guys know that I use DoorDash when I'm editing and I don't want to leave the house. So I DoorDashed a couple things. Let's see if these things can get me to cry. First things first. I got onions. I got 3 onions. I got a red onion, a yellow onion, and a white onion. Now this is plan A. I want to cry using these onions because the tears are naturally, you'll see them falling down my eyes. So this is plan A. I'm gonna cut the onions and see if that really works. Ew. The second plan is these teardrops. If the onions don't work, then these teardrops are for sure gonna work. But I want to try the onions first, only because they'll get the natural crying coming out of my eyes. So let's see if the onions work. Take the long head. This is what I was told to do. Take the long head and cut the long head of the onion. And they said go with white first, so I'm going with white. We have a knife. If this starts working, I'm gonna immediately go into what I'm supposed to say. Oh, y'all can't see. I'm cutting the onion. Oh, I think I'm finna cry. I think I'm about to cry. This might work. Okay, you guys see. I think it's working. Oh God, it smells so bad. I think it's working though. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, it's working. Oh God, it's working. Oh, it smells so bad. Oh. Oh God, I'm finna cry. Oh God, it touched my lip. It touched my lip. It touched my lip. My eyes burned. I should have just used the eye drops. Oh God. That's good, but it's not good enough. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, but my eyes burned. They weren't good. Okay. It's time to film. I'm crying. It's time to film. I can't see. That shit burns. Shit, I should have just used the eye drops. Fuck. I can't see though. I can't see. Shit. Fuck. They didn't say nothing about this part. Oh God. All right.
I need to use these tears. Oh God. All right. Okay. Let me use a little eye drops too. Fuck it. The fact that everyone folded is so unfair, bro. Like, damn, why does everybody have to fold when I flop the nuts? That's not right, man. They know I'm stuck over $600, bro. And you mean to tell me I get nothing? Nothing? Guys, my eyes are burning bad from them onions. Holy shit. The onions, I should have just did eye drops. No onions. That was a bad idea. Fuck.